Alright, before I get into the actual subject of this video, we are going to start everything off with a rant. Because what would a CP666 video be without a rant? Okay, so what you are looking at on your screen right now, apart from the clock radio back there, is a JVC Everio Full HD camcorder that I am not using. And also a Sony HD, Full HD in fact, and capable of progressive video Handycam that I am also not using. Why am I not using these? You see, I have got and received many complaints over the last several years, and it's starting to get worse again. Why are you using those old tape cameras that are not high definition, 60 frames per second? It's 2017, damn it! Well, damn it! I am going to use the camera that I want to use. Do you actually make your own videos? I don't think you do. You would find that you need a pretty significant computer setup in order to render, on a regular basis anyways, full HD video, 60 FPS, 1080p, such that comes from a camera like this. If you're going to do that on a regular basis and make lots and lots of videos like I do, you are going to need a very powerful computer with lots of storage space in order to handle that. You see, I am pedantic. I keep everything. Okay, that's not quite true. After I'm done, uploading a video and I've verified, okay, everything's okay, I delete all of the raw files because I don't see a point in keeping them if I'm not going to ever use those again. I keep the videos that I upload to YouTube because what if something happens to my YouTube channel? I would like to have all that work that I spent all that time working on over the last 7 years or more, such as the case may be. It's 7 years as of the making of this video. Actually, a little bit less, but that's not really the point. I keep all those files, and it takes up a lot of space. So that is why I do not use these HD cameras. Here's where the rant comes in. Once again, do you make your own videos? How often do you watch YouTube videos in high definition? And furthermore, why do you care about what this guy, is doing on his channel that belongs to this guy, that's not yours? You're not paying any money to see my videos, unless, of course, I've noticed that there's been some YouTube Red stuff, even though I do not submit my content to YouTube Red. I have advertisements on my videos. I run ads because, let's face it, getting a little bit of money off of my videos is kind of nice. But I don't make these videos purely to get money out of them. I make them because they are exciting. But here we have all of these people on YouTube that are ruining the excitement. I can go to a thrift store and pick up cameras such as that. VHS-C unit. I can pick up any number one of those that are up there. VHS-C or 8mm. I got a lot of them. They're selling around here. All of these tape cameras are just lying around, ready to be used. Modern, cheap, China Pride garbage. I guess the point's been made. I don't use these because I frankly don't see the point. Oh yes, I know what the point was. I don't like the video quality out of this Sony HDR-CX240. I really don't. I think that there's way too much video noise, the autofocus motor is too noisy, and it's got an awful wide-angle lens fisheye look to it, even though it doesn't really need that. It's got a wide-angle lens. You can see it says wide right on it. But I don't really see the point in that, because it just makes everything look all fisheyed when you've got it zoomed all the way out. This one is starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. It very frequently corrupts video files because the card reader in it just is not up to snuff anymore. And the battery's got problems. If you bump it the wrong way, it shuts the camera off. And I don't like the audio quality. compared to this camera here, that camera over there, and all of the other various VHS-C and mini DV and high 8 cameras and video 8 cameras and hell, even VHS cameras. I got one of those sitting down there, sorry. And they work fine. So I don't see the need to be constantly needing to record videos in HD. The only reason why I can see myself maybe possibly, starting to upscale these videos into 720p HD is because YouTube deliberately nerfs the quality of standard definition video. And I won't understand it either, why they do that. It's completely ridiculous that they do that. But they do, so just gotta get used to it. Okay, enough of that rant. Let's move on here. So you can see on January 30th, 2017, Spats Bear uploaded this particular video. If we take a look at this video still, we can see a Sony clock radio. You see that? That reminds me of something. Something that is sitting up there on the top of my shelf. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. But don't worry. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take that down, and we're going to take a much, much, much better look at it. Okay, here it is. I just remembered another reason why I don't use either of those cameras. The faders! Oh yes, this thing has got a lot of faders that I like very much. As opposed to this, which I don't even believe has any faders at all. And this one, which has just got white and black fades. Boring. But here's the actual subject of the video, and it's doing some interesting things on the camera. This is a Sony Dream Machine. Model number ICF-C25W. FM AM 2 bands. Made in Taiwan, Republic of China. Of course. 120 volt, 60 hertz, 6 watt. 8C, so, I mean, based on the design of this thing, you'd think that this was made in 1998. Certainly looks like something from the 90s, based on, the cheap plastic look, and the fact that it's kind of, modern looking, really. But I'm here to tell you that, no, that is in fact not 1998, that is 1988. Yes, this thing was made in the 1980s. They actually kept this chassis design for a very long time. I've seen a couple of other versions of basically the same thing, different models, but basically the same chassis design. And they used that for years. I mean, Spats Bear's clock over there had a date of 1985 on it. The sticker said 5, so that would definitely mean 1985, considering that one's got simulated wood sides on it. There's what I paid for it. I have no idea why that was still on it, unless this thing's been around for a long time, gets around more than the Beach Boys or something. Wow, I'm really in a sarcastic mood tonight. Okay, well, third quarter of 1988, that means. If I didn't mention that already. I know I mentioned 1988. Except there's a screw down there if you want to take it apart. And there's, of course, a screw in there, which I thought was not present for a second. None of them are stripped out, which tells me that nobody's been inside here. Something interesting I'd like to point out is that there are no controls on the sides, no controls on the back, and no controls on the front. All of the controls are up here on the top. Mostly in rotating dials. You can see this is for the radio. Make sure the volume's off. And also the alarm, which you can choose to wake to a buzzer or a radio. Of course, they don't call it alarm, they call it auto, which is something that a lot of clock makers did back in those days. But an alarm set, which you can see there, and you'll notice, rather interestingly, I can't push this over to time set. So naturally you'd think it's broken, but there's a button labeled push. And that's how you put it into time set mode. Pretty ingenious, really. If you couldn't accidentally set this thing, if you're in a drunken coma and you go to shut the thing off or whatever. Here's a Dream Bar. I think on Spats Bear's clock, the Dream Bar printing is actually on the snooze button itself. as opposed to exterior like it is on this one. Sleep button, which is a nice textured finish. Alarm reset. There's your volume control. It's not on, is it? No. Your rather odd and very difficult to use tuning knob. And your band switch. Okay, let's go ahead and have a listen to the radio, shall we? Yes, like I said, I like the video faders. They're in AM mode. It does get pretty acceptably loud. And we'll try and tune this. I don't know how well this is going to work. Probably not very well on AM. There's not much on AM here, as I've already mentioned.
We're going to shut down immigration from a certain region. Makes sense, right?
Lots of hash going on. Yeah, put it right next to a UPS. That's a good idea. It was picking up something, but anyways. Listen to that. Music on AM! That's not local at all, actually. There's no music on AM here. Can't really pick it up that well, though.
Knows your Ford better than Ford. Ford service.
Now you can get the works at your Ford dealer for $39.
Oh, it's just an ad. Never mind. It's picking up quite a bit. None of those stations are local. This one is. And so is this one, but none of the other ones are. So, it's a fairly damn good AM radio. Switch it over to FM. Obviously won't hear much distance reception on AM because that's just not really easy to do. I have 6 minutes of tape left. I could put it in extended play mode and probably get a little bit more tape out of it, but I don't see a reason to do that. That's not what I thought it was.
Fleurs, chocolat ou massage? À Sherbrooke, là.
Okay, so there's your radio. I'm going to go ahead and set the alarm, and we can have a listen to the alarm. Just in time. And that's all the alarm you get out of it. So if there's one thing I'd have to say that's rather disappointing about this, it is certainly the alarm. Because, I don't know about you, that's not very loud. I'd rather wake to radio than wake to this. It's just not very loud. It's coming through the speaker, which is not a very good speaker. Or, not a very big speaker, I should say. It's a decent speaker for cheap clock radio such as this, but it's meh. Just use the Dream Bar to turn that off. And you're going to conclude the video on that note. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.